Amber Takaro was a Canadian 20-year-old woman who had recently gave birth to her son and was excited to take on her new role as a mother. But unfortunately, her role as a mother wouldn't last long. On the night of August 17, 2010, Amber, her son Jacob, and her friend Evangeline checked into a hotel in Alberta, Canada to hang out for the weekend. The following morning, they traveled to Edmonton, Canada together to shop before returning back to the hotel that evening. But when they arrived back to the hotel in Alberta, Amber decided that she wanted to go back to Edmonton for unknown reasons, and Evangeline agreed to watch Jacob while she went back. Amber then walked to the main road and decided to catch a ride from an unknown man who offered to take her to Edmonton. But this would turn out to be a huge mistake, as this man would drive to a secluded area and ultimately take her life. And the audio of Amber's final moments made it clear that she was scared and that the man was taking her somewhere else other than where he promised to take her.
Where are we by?
We're just heading south of Beaumont, or north of Beaumont.
We're heading north of Beaumont. Yo, where are we going? No, this is a... Are you f***ing kidding me? You better not take me anywhere I don't want to go. I want to go into the city. Jeez. Yo, we're not going into the city, are we? No, we're not.
Yes.
Then where the f*** are these roads going to?
50th Street.
50th Street. Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Yo, where are we going?
50th Street.
50th Street.
50th Street.
2 years after her disappearance, a pair of horseback riders discovered human skeletal remains in a field and alerted police, who then identified them as the remains of Amber. The family of Amber has been searching for justice to be served for over a decade, but to this day, the killer is still at large. When a pair of sisters named Yannette and Madeline Guardado went into work at a Latin restaurant on May 20th, 2017 in Miami, Florida, they had no idea that this would be the place where they would lose their life. Madeline and Yannette were the nieces of an 84-year-old man named Jose Reyna that was frustrated that he had to take care of his wife, who had Alzheimer's, by himself after Yannette and Madeline allegedly refused to help him. And Reyna didn't take this well, and while they were filming a video for a cosmetic surgery business next door to the restaurant, Yannette noticed something off screen that captured her attention. And by the time they realized that it was their disgruntled uncle with a gun, they tried to run back into the restaurant, but unfortunately it was too late.
El límite ese del dolor no existe, porque el tómico, que es realmente una cirugía bien grande, pues parece que hubo un accidente.
Those who knew 84-year-old Jose Reyna say he was exasperated with his wife's health condition. He wanted his nieces help, but they refused. So this past Saturday, Reyna went down to the restaurant they worked at and killed Madeline and Yannette Guardado.
And after killing his nieces, Reyna drove 5 miles away before shooting himself, ultimately taking his own life, leaving the rest of the family in shambles. In Michigan, a 17-year-old teenage girl named Jacqueline threw a party at her house, and after the party was over, she confronted another teenage girl named Danielle, as she thought Danielle was flirting with her boyfriend.
Are you stupid? Are you fucking stupid? You're gonna come to my party and down my man? Are you dumb? Are you stupid? I bought him this shit.
The girls argued back and forth for a while before Danielle walked away out of view of the camera. And witnesses say that before walking away, Danielle called Jacqueline's boyfriend unattractive and told Jacqueline that she didn't want her boyfriend. But Jacqueline's boyfriend didn't take getting called unattractive too well and opened fire on Danielle while she walked away, hitting her twice. Danielle was driven to Munson Medical Center but unfortunately passed away during surgery, and the shooter, 18-year-old Mitchell Gavides, was charged and sentenced to 45 years in prison. Aaron Murphy was a lonely 21-year-old man that wanted the company of a woman for the night, and when he ran into a 49-year-old woman about to enter her apartment, he tried to persuade her to come back to his place within minutes of meeting her. The woman denied his request, and then he took it a step further and tried to kiss her. Despite looking directly into the surveillance camera, Murphy continued to harass the woman, who clearly wasn't interested, but he wasn't going to take no for an answer, and he decided that if she didn't want to go with him, that he would make her. And this is when he grabbed the woman, brought her to an alleyway, and violated her in the worst way before nearly beating her to death, leaving her with permanent injuries. Due to the interaction being caught on camera, it didn't take long for police to identify and eventually arrest Aaron Murphy, who was then charged with rape and attempted murder and sentenced to life in prison. A woman named Jasmine Abshitz had just broken up with her boyfriend, as he had become abusive and controlling, and weeks after she broke up with him, he asked if he could come over so they could talk and work out their issues. Jasmine agreed to this, but unfortunately it would be a big mistake, as he had no plans of working anything out. And on April 12, 2013, surveillance cameras captured Jasmine's boyfriend sitting by the door waiting, and Jasmine walking out the elevator to let him in. At first, Jasmine seems hesitant to let him in as she talks to him through the door before ultimately letting him in and come upstairs. And once in her room, she was beat severely and eventually died alone in her apartment. And about 30 minutes later, her boyfriend exits the elevator alone. He then puts on his hoodie and quickly walks outside. Due to surveillance camera, it wasn't hard for police to put the pieces together and find out who was responsible. And Sean Lee King was later apprehended, charged, and eventually sentenced to 33 years in prison.